Hello again and welcome back to more Nanyang Championship action and a qualifier. We are in the lower bracket final in the middle of the series. About to go into game number 2. It's Digital Chaos going against Team Fire. And believe it or not, Fire best DC in game 1. Some people may consider it a bit of an upset, but Fire look warmed up and ready to play.
Oh yeah, they are on a hot streak. 3 wins in a row, 2 over Root, now a win over Digital Chaos. This really puts Digital Chaos on the back foot because they were a team probably thinking pretty high themselves. Rightfully so. They've got a pretty star-studded roster. They had a lot of potential. People talked them up, and then they get 2-0'd by Cloud9 after having a very big Game 1 lead yesterday. And they just seem to have hit a brick wall now. They got kind of crushed in Game 2 against Cloud9, and it seems like they've lost just some of their mojo today as well.
Oh, hopefully they can find it. Something now is going to slip through is this first pick. Lesh, Bounty, or Naga.
And first pick is in DC's hands, so
they banned the Darkseer in hopes to get one of those. Which will they get? This has got to be a Lesh ban. No, that means the Lesh can be picked up here from DC.
Yeah. So Fire, I guess, saying we'll at least get a Bounty Hunter out of this, so we can give away one of the two, and Lesh Bounty, I guess, potentially an okay trade. They'll get Bounty with what? We'll have to wait and see what they want to get with it. The thing is, you get the Bounty. Digital Chaos get likely Earthshaker to go with the Lesh, and that's a great setup for Lesh to hit stuns in the mid lane and absolutely destroy Susie, regardless of what hero Susie's playing. So this is going to be a scary mid lane for Fire to do it. They actually take Earthshaker as well, so I really like that idea because I think if Earthshaker went to Digital Chaos with the Lesh, it would be a huge problem.
I don't know, though. It's such a risk to let this Lesh through, and it's going to be a Yawar Lesh. That could be scary. That also means that because Earthshaker had been taken up, DC hop in and grab one of the remaining good offlaners out there, the Clockwork. A Bulba Clockwork also now being grabbed for DC. It's a strong 1-2 punch. I know Fire probably... We're hoping to get one of those big 3. I hope the Bounty Hunter is going to be enough for them because it's still looking like a very scary start for both sides here.
The mid lane, though, right now is definitely in Fire's favor. You've got Bounty Hunter as a potential roam. You've got the Fissure, which can come from Fog, and that's where they can just pick up a number of different mid laners and actually do okay against the Leshrac. You look at Queen of Pain, look at Shadow Fiend, Queen of Pain now banned out. Lina still available, yeah. I think this is a pretty good Lina game. Clockwork does act as a nice pseudo way of dealing with the Lina. I don't want to say counter necessarily, but there's so many options for mid, they don't even have to pick up their mid right away. For now, they're going to secure their safe lane, take the PL, something they probably wanted regardless, but also something which DC plays, so it also takes it away from DC.
Is PL that great against Lesh? I would just figure his illusions will just go to the second he pops off his ult and everything.
It's great once you get enough farm.
You have to get up there so you can actually be the Lesh Slayer. And
it's a hero which can farm very quickly and keeps up and never really falls off too much.
Oh, it's the Mexican weatherman.
You got to wonder at this point, DC may just be running a support Lesh. That's the other thing that's been kind of putting this Leshrac into the mid.
Pull off the old C-Deck trick that they did at the Grand Finals of TI. Finally get the Leshrac and see if they can coax EG into something funny, and they put the Lesh in a support, and they still end up losing. But this time they'll have the Storm on their side to follow it up. And
whether it's a Lesh or a Storm mid, Lina's great. And if anything, Lina does much better against the Storm Spirit with the help of the Bounty Roam.
This is a powerhouse draft from both sides already. A lot of these you're lucky to see on your side.
Oh, yeah. But these are all, like, in a lot of ways, first 2-pick heroes in some drafts. So...
4th pick to come here from the side of Digital Chaos. It's about time, unless this Lesh will be a support, they do consider that backstaff, that potential grab for Mr. Biru.
Yeah, if you're running Storm and Leshrac as your 2 cores, it means you don't have any real physical damage. I don't mind seeing these kind of non-right-click carry lineups if you've got some way of if you've got better, like a Lina as a core does better there because Lina, you've got pure damage in the late game with Laguna Blade. Both of these 2 heroes is very magic damage. Storm can kind of go into a right-click mode, but to me, they're going to have problems dealing with the PL once the PL gets farmed enough, unless they can end the game really quickly, which maybe the Visage pick suggests they do want to end things in a timely fashion.
Yeah, definitely adds a lot of push. We know Owie plays the hero very well. And being able to get that early bits of farm and built up into a early set of birds can help with the sieging power here that they already have on their team between the Lesh and the Visage alone. So we'll see. Final bands fire rid of the Rubik, a comfort hero that Biru is known to go for. Outside of DC, we'll see what potential options still wait out there. Looking for possibly the Moo hero, unless that Earthshaker is going to be going to the off lane.
Yeah. I think there's a decent chance. I mean, talked about last game where if you Earthshaker as... Well, that was exactly the same scenario where they had a PL basically solo so the Earthshaker could Earthshaker and Bounty could both roam, but Fire have shown they can put Jao in the safe lane and not give him any actual zoning support and he'll do just fine. But Clockwork a bit harder matchup. Well, I mean, he had a hard matchup then too. It was a Tusk Abaddon, so... I don't know. Jao just doesn't seem to care if he's being sacked in the safe lane.
If Fire do go for another support here and Digital Chaos rid of the Silencer, other silenced options, Skywrath,
yeah.
Disruptor.
Skywrath is great. It's good burst damage as well to combo with the Fissure, so I like the idea of a Skywrath Mage for Fire. Disruptor, okay. It does give them a bit more team fight.
Ideally someone who's also a 4-staff candidate, because they'll need it for Clockwork.
Yep.
Skywrath is one of those potential options there, certainly. So, could be something they do consider. We'll have to see. Unless they themselves are trying to do any sort of crazy mind games and swap up the roles a bit.
And if you want to put the Earthshaker support, there's kind of limited offlaners left. I guess Spirit Breaker's maybe one of the better ones still in the pool. Nice and tanky for the offlane, but I think with no Darkseer available, no Task, which have been Moo's probably best offlaners, it's maybe just going to be him on the Earthshaker now.
I would love to see Digital Chaos do something absolutely crazy, and it is a Lesh support with Visage, and they pull out the Lifestealer! The Lifestealer for DC! That Clockwork Storm Spirit vehicle!
What about the Dro Ranger? I haven't seen Dro in a while.
I haven't seen that guy in a while.
Wow.
Jakiro coming out here. Okay. Why Jakiro? What makes Jakiro so valuable here? Great at clearing waves, massive nuke spam, good sieging capabilities, pretty strong at the start. Yeah,
pretty good zoning, really tanky, good stats, so you can zone an offlane like a clock, better than some supports. And I think one of the important things is actually going to be the hero's mid-game potential, where with a Yule Scepter, you've actually got a way to pick off and catch the Storm Spirit outside. I mean, Lina can do the same thing with an Yules into LSA, but you've got a secondary option where a Yules into Ice Path is also available. So
yeah, could be a bit of mind games if Lesh does indeed be a support. Typically, Lesh is a support. You want someone to set up his stun. Can be pretty tricky to land otherwise. Visage isn't the best early on in being able to do it. And then later on, if he relies on getting himself something like a Yules, let's say, the counter Yule plays from Jakiro could be a bit of a headache. I almost wonder if
this is an offlane Jakiro with the Earthshaker support, kind of what we saw earlier, where Earthshaker just roams around, Bounty does the same thing, and Jakiro gets more level priority, because Jakiro in the offlane with like a Bounty Hunter offering some assistance is very deadly. The Jewel Breath does a huge amount of damage, so yeah, we'll see. Pick up Jakiro. We'll be an offlane Jakiro, at least, unless they swap things around here.
It happens both ways too, so it's definitely going to be a core Lesh with that last CM pick here. Throws you War on the mid lane Storm Spirit. You got to channel a little bit of his younger brother for this one, and that means TC is just going to take the Lesh off to a side lane to farm. Okay, and Bulba will do his thing. I'm real excited to see what Moo can do on this offlane Jakiro, though. That is just a refreshing pick that we have not seen since the days of the forehead, the combo between Ogre and Jakiro. We saw that all the time. People used to put, like, this was when they had both runes come out and they introduced the bounty rune. It seemed like a lot of teams really loved those tanky supports that could bodyguard the rune and secure for their mid lane. Ogre was like the best go-to with this ridiculous amount of armor and HP at the start, and Jakiro was also good synergy with that, and someone else who could offer a lot of the same. But since then, and since the days of like a universe offlane EG Jakiro, it's been just kind of phased out a little bit. But he's back now, and I guess Fire feel they have the one game leeway. Why not try something new and special?
And something not new and special, Whitebeard on the bounty picks up a TP and will probably go look to scout out that early Observe award.
Gotta get the Orb of Venom first.
Oh, TP's down bottom this time. Okay, he's going to actually TP to go to block the pull. So he's not going to look to scout out the offlane. I think he realizes Bulba, like last game, Bulba TP'd to the offlane, tried to pop down a ward and got blocked. And also, it's much more important on the Radiant side, because this Radiant pull camp is so difficult to deward. It takes like 3 to 4 sentries to deward it, and that's where when you're on the Radiant side as a support, you want to make sure this pull camp isn't blocked. You've got to TP down there, I feel. It's actually becoming more and more important, and I think we'll see more teams emphasize doing that on the Radiant side. On the Dire side, it's not as big a deal, because it's a lot easier to get a guaranteed deward. Often with 1 sentry, at most you've got to use 2 sentries.
It's just like a whole different world, because then on that side, the Radiant has that benefit of being able to pull the side camp, so maybe I've seen some teams even consider blocking out their own pull just to make sure the offlaner can't take advantage of that. But yeah, we'll see here. Game number 2, folks, as we get into the Nanyang NA qualifier here. These teams are just possibly a couple of games away from securing that spot at the LAN. If Team Fire are to take a win here, they will move on to face Cloud9 in the grand final. Digital Chaos need this win just to take this series to a Game 3 and stay alive. A lot of comfort heroes coming out, including the magical disco blue pony that everyone knows is one of the most feared picks you can go for. Not even just him. Storm Spirit as well. Big grab. Owie gets a comfort hero in his Visage. Yep. Looks like a very scary DC lineup here. We'll see how crafty Fire can be, though, with their Bounty Hunter and core Jakiro.
Yeah, it's actually going to be TC in the mid lane as well, which is a bit of a role reversal, but I think feeling very confident in your Storm Spirit.
And I've seen TC plenty of time play Lesh on his own personal stream. He knows what he's doing and dishes out early a stun. Just tries to let 747 know who's the real mid lane boss here. Gets him up. Meanwhile, Whitebeard will be one to stalk Owie. No early pressure towards that mid lane. Probably anticipating that there will be a sentry, what there is. Instead, might put that attention onto Yawar. So starts the early poke and just kind of walks back and away. And with that early liquid fire, could creep out and dish off some early harassment that some of these players are not familiar with.
And teams are so used to countering the mid harass and the bounty hunter, I think Whitebeard will actually prioritize more towards this bottom lane. There has been a sentry placed, but Whitebeard can go in and look to Tengu it. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to do that right now with the big creep wave pushing in, but I imagine once he feels safe in doing so, he's going to look to de-sentry this lane and really apply some pressure. But for now, he's happy just to leech a bit of experience. He can kind of share this with the Jakiro a bit.
Ooh, big hit on the Whitebeard there with the overcharge. Yeah. Has to be careful. Don't want to take too many of those, and then once Owie gets a level, a Soul Assumption flies out, you could be done for before you even know it.
Well, this is where he'd love to de-sentry the lane, because that gives you a double HP regen on your Tengo, so you get that extra bit of value coming out.
Now, meanwhile, Fluff still, as we saw the last time, very mobile here. Plants down that north side center ward.
And looking to help out this mid lane.
Get the block. Oh, he did. Oh. It's a catch. They're looking to move in. The stun, the Dragon Slave, but it's not going to be enough.
Miss.
He sidesteps the stun. Biru shows up on the Crystal Main, is going to get the freeze. A lot of damage on the TC, but he'll be able to salve it off. Ooh, very close.
Yeah, and TC's got bottle money. 747, about 100 gold short. Does have a salve still, so he can at least heal himself up and look to keep contesting the lane. And with a DD rune, should be able to farm up the bottle with relative ease. And to the mid lane comes Whitebeard.
Biru though is like, there's a bounty hunter out there. I will be the courier. Give me the bottle. Give it to Biru. Give it to me. There we go. And now we'll walk it.
I don't know if it applies to private games, but I know like in ranked games you can't actually take bottles off couriers anymore because of briefing reasons. So the player actually has to drop it on top of you, which may apply to private lobbies as well. I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely an inconvenience if you have to like tell your teammate like, hey, drop your bottle on me.
He's like, I'm in the middle of CSing here.
Yeah.
Be quiet. Yep. But he does get his bottle nonetheless with the safety of this Crystal Maiden. Plants her own obs on the high ground, which will be scouted if Fire were paying attention to it, which they were. They're going to ping it immediately. Look like Fluff scouted it out. So they'll have the know-how as far as not looking to approach from the northern side of the mid lane. Look at bottom. Dual breath out. Yawar eats a bit of hefty damage. They ping Owie, but look at the follow-up from Whitebeard now. Oh, they got him. That's first blood on Yawar. Whitebeard, though, going to be going up as a follow-up. Aui's going to be forced to drop down the sentry to get that finishing connection, but will get the kill, but that's a win there for Fire, taking Storm Spirit out.
And Moo has Tranquil Boots, so he's got some HP regen. He doesn't even have to go back to base here.
And huge armor because of those Tranquil Boots, 7.
Doesn't want to get too aggressive on AUI. He does have mana for a Soul Assumption as well as Grave Chill. So, Moo want to be playing this somewhat cautiously.
Bulba has the most CS in the game.
Wow.
I haven't really looked much at this top lane, but the Clockwork PL matchup is something he seems to really love.
Yep.
He is getting very farmed. Level 5 already at 4 minutes in, and that's on a Bulba Clockwork, mind you.
Yeah, this has just been a pure 1v1 lane, and yeah, Bulba just doing a great job of out-farming Jo so far.
Whitebeard makes his return back to bottom lane, seeing if maybe he wanted to go down there and get that sentry, but they'll leave it for now, but he's aware it's there now. And they'll just kind of head back. Moo looks like he's going to get his upgraded wand next. We check back with the mid lane now.
And Whitebeard scouts out there's no sentry up in this lane. It's much further down the lane where it is, and they're going for this kill with a fissure. I think Yawa's dead.
Oh, there's the dual breath. There's the fissure. Aui's coming, but he can't do anything about it. Back-to-back takedowns onto Yawar. Now, he better hope he can channel his inner Sumail. You know, Sumail many a time brought down back-to-back-to-back and still would be able to recover. He might need to do a bit of the same because this is a bit of an unorthodox Storm Spirit lane matchup. You know, typically more comfortable being in the mid lane against some of the usual mid lane suspects, but in a safe lane position and you're against a Jakiro and a Bounty Hunter, this is very unusual and I'm sure very uncomfortable for Yawar.
Whitebeard comes in, scouts out some of these stacks going on in the Radiant jungle, so maybe look to contest this later on, or even try and bring someone like Lina in to steal it. For now, though, he's right next to a Sentry Ward, and Biryu has spotted him.
Has he? He's like, oh, gets hit in the back, quick turnaround with the freeze, and it's going to pop out the Nova here.
He's got no Shadow Walk. He may be dead here.
TC, oh, he's got the ultimate. Oh, that last little auto attack right there from Biru is going to get the connection, and that's going to get them the kill. Free little grab for the little CM. And now he knows to be careful approaching that mid lane. Sentries are out. They're making sure there's a good defensive barrier for this TC Lesh. But look who's shown up to the party. Bulba's here with a hook shot. Will he connect? He will. Man, he gets that just in front of the creep. Moves in for 747, and they get the grab. And now they're going to go for a follow-up. This is going to be an easy connection. Battery out in Assault. Fluff tried to inch towards the Ancient Camp to get himself denied, but it's not going to be happening here.
That was so good. I'm like looking at this like there's a creep wave, and Lina was using the creeps really well to block a potential hook, but Bulba just somehow got it just around them and does free up the top lane. But this is what you're kind of expecting. At some point, Clock doesn't want to just stay in a farm battle against the PL. It's going to be get your level 6, get your core items, Tranquil Boots as well as Bottle in this case, and then leave the PL some free farm, but you're making space for your team. You're securing the Leshrac, securing the Storm, a decent level of farm to give them to get them back in the game, especially in the case of the Storm, who's been completely shut down here at bottom.
He will get a little bit of that solo time in the mid lane to farm up some XP. Ooh, eats a big Dragon Slave and loses half his life. But this is time for TC to work through these big stacks in the jungle. And my goodness, can Lesh flash farm? How convenient. Just annihilates the whole wave immediately. Bottom lane, though, a Fisher's going to be on to Aoi, who's going to have to turn around, but will end up going down to Whitebeard with that last jab. Tries to get out the Soul Assumption. War's still here, and still level 5. No way to ball lightning away from trouble, and he's going to get slowed down from the dual breath. Attacks Whitebeard, but his attack so slow from that dual breath, and will be going down into 2-for-0 special right now for Fire on the bottom. 3 all day. It looks like mid lane they were able to get the catch on 2 Little Crystal Maiden. Yep. Didn't even cost Alina Lagoon.
Now Bulba's back there with another hook shot. They've got to find a way out.
Boom! They move in. They're going to get the catch on the Moo. Fluff, no mana yet for the Fissure. They're looking at him. They want to try to save him, but oh no, they could all go down. Here comes the Pony, and they annihilate 2. A double kill with the Rocket and the follow-up catch with the Lightning Storm. They should have just let Moo go and got the hell out of there, but they didn't, and they all go down. They take 3 and they lose 3 shortly thereafter.
Well, Moo's now learned, much like Earthshaker can't use Fissure in the Battery Assault, you cannot use Macropire. The cast time on that, he was trying so hard to get a Macropire down, but the constant Battery Assault prevented the cast, and maybe not like that was honestly not something I would have known. Like, you don't play the Jakiro versus Clockwork that often. Like, if you get trapped, you're not like, okay, I gotta use my Macropire. As an Earthshaker, you're like, I want to use my Fissure or Totem, but Bulba out bottom lane, becoming the target of this next game.
There's a bottle DD here. Still no hook. Does have the cogs. He's made big space. Might have to pop him right here. No, he'll just eat one last little jab of damage here from Moo, who's putting all of his levels into that liquid fire. Very familiar build-up, but didn't get the value point into Ice Path, at least not for now. Or maybe he has his own unique build-up that he's inspired and he's going to be rolling with that instead. We'll have to see. Oh, hook shot. This one connects on the Whitebeard here with that DD, and now a dust being popped. It's going to make for an easy pick. Your Bounty Hunter going to be phased right out.
Yeah, Bob was just been go, go, go ever since getting this level 6, and he's got a couple kills mid, then he gets a couple kills in the jungle, finds the bounty again, which is just denying great pressure and scouting capabilities from Fire. While this has been going on, PL has been able to get some alone time to farm, but that's been the lane where Yuar says, okay, let's kind of contest the PL's farm, and also he probably just feels a whole lot safer up at this top lane as well.
Yeah. Jo specifically for his own farm just has the equivalent of about 600 gold saved up. Still has a long way to go if this PL wants to be a problem in this game.
Another sentry scouts out Whitebeard here as he immediately comes back bottom. He's right away in danger of dying.
Very scary here.
This is just, again, like looking at some of the net worth, like CM 800 net worth, Shaker 700. These team supports have been so selfless, and they're struggling on farm as a result, but it's kind of been looking to give the farm and the advantage to other heroes on your side.
And it's funny because they both are
career
contributing a lot of the same thing here. Boom.
Uh-oh.
Boom. Got it. What was on it? Oh, the remaining components of what look like possibly Tranquil Boots maybe, but up and above you see TC. Killing spree for him and the Blue Pony as they get the grab on the fluff.
Ace Room was taken by Jo, so he'll get that back towards the top lane. And there's another hook shot. So Bulba again, the one just setting up all the action for this team. 7 of the 9 kills he's been involved in.
Oh, here we go. First big Powerball jump. Going to be going for Moo here. Double catch with 2 big spirits. No Vortex here, but they have enough. With the lockdown, helped out from Crystal Maiden, Soul Assumption to fly from Owie. There's nothing Moo can do with this big tanky dragon. And they will go down.
Whitebeard comes in and looking for that snipe on AUI on the return home.
Won't be there, but here comes trouble. Little Crystal Maiden will be the target. Does go down. Whitebeard getting closer and closer to that level 6 and getting that track online here.
That was 2 kills, both Visage and CM going down. Nice rotation from Jo, recognizing the opportunity at bottom lane, and the fact that this tower was also low. So his team's probably like making the call, like, you need to come down here, dude. There's tower mining to be had, there's kills to be had. This is the lane to be. And it's just Clockwork solo at top. So if Clockwork's ever alone in the lane farming, who cares? Just leave him be. He's not a threat. It means you know where he is on the map. Clockwork's at his most dangerous when he's in fog, when he's missing from the map and when you don't have vision of him. That's when you're worried if you're Team Fire.
He's going to be going missing for a little bit now. Actually grabs up a smoke. I figured he was going to be finishing off the blade mail first before he decides to go and make a new engagement, but that could come sooner than expected.
I think he just wants to not slow down the pressure at all. And the blade mail, definitely a nice item to have, but not like a must-have item to keep on ganking. Will help for sure against this Lina, who now has a Yule Scepter. This is, I mean, most of the teams you see, they pick up the Yules on Lina, then they immediately go for a smoke, and I feel like that should probably be the call from Fire, maybe with the Earthshaker, but
they might want to wait for track so they can get
a
little bit of extra greedy gold.
Definitely a possibility. And also level 11, I think. It's a decent boost in your damage output with the level 2 Laguna, so it looks like 747 may look for that.
Ooh, a miss now.
Rare miss from Bulba.
Not going to get the catch. That puts Fire back a bit. But you can't forget, Jakiro, one of that special abilities, I mean, not even special, just pretty much his bread and butter, this liquid fire and the damage it can do to a tower. It just quickly scrap together some quick objectives, some extra gold for the team as a whole. Could catch DC off guard.
747 goes into the enemy jungle looking for Storm, but walked directly past an Observer Ward. This could very easily backfire on the Lina.
Yeah, here comes Bulba from behind. The TP gone. Oh! He went with the battery assault, but the hook was on cooldown, so did what he could, but it's a little too late. Yeah. Good heads-up play, though, from Susie to get out of there. Yeah,
Susie, at some point, like, you see the Storm with your Observer Ward, and you're like, wait, Storm didn't just immediately go farm a camp. Why is Storm... The only reason Storm doesn't farm a camp there is because he spotted your rotation in the jungle with a ward, which means you're in danger. As soon as you don't find Storm, it means Storm saw you, which means the rest of the team saw you, which means get the hell out. So good awareness. I think he almost waited a bit too long to TP, but he did get out in the end, so...
Now Storm is farming, and they re-engage in the woods, and they could scout him out. It's going to get pinged, though. They spot him. The smoke's going to expire, and quickly Yawar jumps back in away, and here comes Bulba for round number 2. This time he does get a catch. It's on the Whitebeard, but he doesn't quite know it. He has the dust, but he's not using it. He wants to put all of his force for Susie. Meanwhile, they are going to get a hold of Owie, because J.O.'s coming in from behind, but up in the front right now. Whitebeard puts his focus on the Bulba, who's going to get hit with the Laguna and go down. J.O. trying to man up with the rest of against TC, but it's TC on that Leshrek after all, and he just gets a hold of J.O. and will go down. Can Fire catch up here? Whitebeard on the chase, does get the track, but can't catch up with that CM.
So, fairly even trade in the end, with the PL going down for 2 heroes, not too bad. Bulba didn't actually have a kill streak. He's been getting assists for most of the action he's been in, so not the end of the world that Bulba dies there, considering they do get the PL. I think Jo just kind of got split apart from his team. There was the big issue for him. His team were kind of dealing with the clockwork, and Jo thought he had like an easy kill in a CM, but he was completely isolated against multiple heroes.
Now they're looking to siege this tier 1 mid lane. Whitebeard waits behind. There's the fissure. A dual breath now.
Oh, there's a potential track too.
Yeah, Whitebeard scouts Bulba. He's sure to let him know. Quick track. Shuriken toss. Nope. They'll get the finish. Bulba, though, makes a big jump in, but they're fighting under a macro pyre, and now a freezing field from the other side. Makes it a 2-for-1 right now as Yawar's going to be picking up the double kill. Can they get Bulba? They can't. Spirit Lance is going to make the connection, and it's going to secure the grab for Jail, making it a 2-for-2. Very touch and go at this point. 747's here now, wants to play. But so is TC.
Wants back in.
Can they get in there and get this Leshrek kill fast enough? TC already has a freaking Bloodstone with 9 charges.
And you can see Bulba like drawing angrily on the map there, it looks like. He's basically saying, like, why aren't we farming their jungle right? I think he's more directing this towards the Storm, who's struggling to get any farm, can't really pick up items. So basically saying, like, look, this is the safest place to farm. They are taking over our jungle. They've got deep wards. They're using Bounty Hunter effectively. You need to farm in what is currently the safest place on the map, deep in the enemy jungle, where for Fire, that's not a strategic position for them to be in. They want to apply pressure, be in a place where they can take towers should they get kills. They're not going to just passively farm their own jungle, which is where, for Storm, that is a good place for him to go look for some farm.
Fluff tries to drop a nice ward from across the trees. The second he drops it, a sentry gets dropped right in front of it from DC, so he will lose that ward, but it does its job. He sees there's trouble coming, and he gets the hell out of there. That means they can maybe apply some pressure elsewhere. It was possibly coming here from the bottom lane, but it looks like Jayo's going to pull out, farm his way back to mid. Whitebeard doing his thing there, and we're just going to let this tier 1 go down. Yeah, quick and easy grab, and looks like it's going to be going to the Leshrek.
Oh, well, of course, TC Bloodstone, and got to imagine that Yule Scepter will be coming up shortly after. To me, the main concern for Fire right now is that PL is not farming that well, has not really been keeping up with the Leshrek. Will need a lot of items before PL can really fight into the Leshrek, especially you throw like a Yules and a BKB onto TC. That's where he gets really beefy and really hard to deal with.
Looks like they're going to continue to pressure that top lane. Fluff have been pinging out. Like, if we can get a +1 here with a rotation, maybe we can set something up. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. They're going to already see Yawar on the way out. Pop him with a track. And that'll be the end of it. 13-11, your net worth advantage slightly in the favor of Fire. Same for the XP. The Fire already have that 1-game advantage here. The pressure is on Digital Chaos to pull this game back. But they got the magic blue pony, and now a smoke flying out from bottom. Bulba leading the charge.
I don't feel like DC... I think they do need to maintain some aggression, just because the nature of their late game being somewhat lackluster.
Oh, they see Susie. They move in. They got the hook shot. They got the stun. The Yules will be there, but it doesn't matter. Lena will get dropped. She goes down. Pretty effortless gank movement right there. Just maybe feeling a bit careless, trying to conveniently farm the DC side. And Whitebeard now mid lane creeps in. Yawar gets hit with a track, quickly falls away. A fissure's going to fly, but they still want him. Yeah, they got the dust, they got the vision. There's going to be the freeze, and he goes down. Now they look to Yawar. He's going to get caught in the ice path, hits a dual breath, but they won't get anything else with it. But look at Bulba. Did Moon recognize he was body blocked there? It doesn't look like it. Oh, the dance of death here. Earthshaker going to get caught out. The Ice Path will be there, but it doesn't matter. The damage is already going to be done, and they will lose 3 all day on the side of Fire. DC now will use this to transition into a mid-tier 1 push. Looks like they'll be able to get it. Yawar going to already head back to that top lane to play catch-up with the farm, and all the meanwhile, Jo continues to farm on this PL. He's still got a ways to go.
Yep.
We'll have to continue to crank it out.
Yeah, and I think Fire recognizing that they can go towards late game is like a good way of just dealing with the Storm Leshrac, and that's where they were getting a bit greedy with where they were farming. You had Lina completely alone in the Radiant jungle getting smoke ganked, then you had a couple heroes mid who also didn't have the full backup. They didn't have the PL with them, nor was he going to be anywhere near. So DC just kind of taking advantage of Fire's what they see as farming efficiency, but something that can be punished if you get the right kind of rotations off, which DC are getting better at now. And Storm, Soul Booster up, he's almost going to Bloodstone as well, so this is where you could be very careful about starting to give DC kills, because they're going to start racking up charges on both Storm as well as Leshrac.
Yeah, and that's those supports, if they can get themselves involved, get that much more gold, and that means that Howie and his Visage can get that much closer to an Ags. It looks like he has enough for at least just a point booster right now. Oh, he's going to go straight for the Medallion. So Roche now becomes a sweet, supple option right now if they can get a good catch onto the Fire squad. A big team fight. The Fire already on the move. Beelining it right now towards the top, hoping to catch Yawar. They're going to flank him from both sides here.
They're searching in their jungle.
If they can pincer in, they can catch him, but conveniently for him, jumps down, jumps up. Oh, they're waiting. Fluff gets the fissure. It's actually on the other side, but they'll be the Yules. They'll be the ice. Okay. Well, Yawar makes it easy for him and just quickly does the suicide. Smart call nonetheless, because I don't think he was making it out.
They'll be regretting that Yules. They should have just fissured into LSA and killed him. Like that's a. I mean, it's not a huge amount of gold they lost there. Oh, it's a track kill. So actually, this is a big amount of gold without the track money. So
you get track money as well if they suicide.
No. I'm saying if they got the kill, they could have prevented the suicide by chain stunning him out with like a fissure into Light Strike Array. But the Yule Scepter gave him the ability to suicide there. Dust
pops, will connect, but not in a great spot. Oh, Bulba says, okay, you want to track me? I'm going to turn back and go in, but Bulba may have gone into trouble. Goes into 3, and there's going to be the Laguna, but here it comes trouble. Yawar returns, jumps right in, tries to go, and they both go into a Yule's party. Follow up Ice Path. There's going to be the fire damage, but they are going to be able to finish off the Lina. Now Yawar with little bits of mana and a Soul Assumption. Huge damage. Double kill for Owie. They're going to take out the Jakiro. Jayo's there as well. They're quickly going to get the snag onto the Crystal Main, but Jayo could lose his life. What a doppelganger. Does avoid the stun, making him do a bit of a loop-de-doop here as he heads back south at this point, drawing attention away. Look at Whitebeard now. Tags up TC with a bit of a track, and it looks like they'll both be able to just walk away from the pressure.
That was some serious RNG doppelganger there, getting the one illusion that was furthest away from all the chasing heroes was the real one. So I'll be pretty happy with that doppelganger. And still, though, a good fight for DC. 747 Susie tried to hold off using Laguna on Clockwork till the Blade Mail ended, but was like half a second too early, and that was what got Susie killed. He took a huge chunk of return damage from the Blade Mail. Storm saw it and said, okay, that's a kill. I'm going to capitalize on this. And Storm's right back up to 7 charges. Leshrac hits 12 charges. Those kills really costly from Team Fire.
They'll go back and they'll keep farming their way. Susie getting closer to that Ags. Just about 600 gold away and we'll have it complete. Jail makes his return. That's where he's going to settle himself down to a farming spot, which it looks like he is damn close to finishing off that Diffusal. Big item for this game.
He'll need a lot more still against the Leshrac. All the AoE damage. You need Diffusal plus Skadi plus even like a potential Satanic.
There's the Yules. There's the Ice Path. This time Yawar will not be able to suicide. They got the Echo Fall from Fluff, and even a Laguna going to be committed, but they could lose so much more. But here comes the Freezing Field from Biru as they try to clean house, and they do. You got Yawar, but you're going to be losing 3. Jayo even comes in. Moose tries to slow them down with the Ice Path, but they're on the chase. The ridiculous range of that Lightning Storm is going to catch up to Jayo and Moo. They scout out Moo. Oh, Valiant Blind Stun, not going to be connected. He's just going to go out swinging those fists. Puts the Macro Pyre down, but they lose 4 all day in exchange for the 1 Storm Spirit.
Well, Leshrac in a nutshell this game. This hero is out of control. 16 charges now, another 2.7k gold. Well on top of the net worth charts, and Tower's starting to drop. He's got level 16, so it's maxed out Pulse Nova, maxed out everything. Diabolic Edict going to bring down towers quickly, and this is a big concern for Fire.
Kind of get an idea as far as of those big three, Bounty, Naga, Lesh. Who is the scarier one for these teams? I think the Lesh showing to be a strong case for why you just got to keep that hero banned. Because DC are just happy to take him up. Specifically, TC continues to do work with it here. He was able to throw together some drums on this Crystal Maiden. Gives her that extra bit of tank.
I feel like the biggest issue from a big picture point of view for this game was that the Clockwork got so much out of the off lane, though.
Oh, certainly, yes.
And that's where they were they felt forced to get the Earthshaker with the bounty, because Earthshaker Lesh is actually ridiculous. I think if DC got Earthshaker as their second pick, you just lose the game off of that. But as a result, Fire didn't have any zoning support to help prevent Clockwork from doing what he did. Clockwork won the offlane. He even out-farmed Jo, so they were that to me was if you could somehow ban Earthshaker as your second ban instead of the Naga, it may have been more manageable this game, because then they could have had a different support in Fluff's hands to help deal with Clock. But I mean, that's kind of going way back. Right now, the position's still manageable for Fire. They've still got the late game PL. It's been a big swing going DC's way, but Fire are just going to keep looking to hold on and keep on stalling things as much as possible.
Yeah, maybe they can really take this game down that road. Then again, though, might not come easy. We already know the power of what Lesh can do, but even a Storm Sphere with a significant amount of farm is just too much to deal with. What was it in DC's matchup against Cloud9? That persistent storm from Brax just proved to be enough to get Cloud9 to make that big turnaround. And you are looking a bit of same. Yep, they caught a hold of Whitebeard here. He's looking to retreat, walking through the sentries, out from the vision. Will be safe. Do they have a dust? They do on Bulba, but they're not going to pop it. So Whitebeard just finds a little crevice and will hide in there. Whew. And now look at this. Fire maybe look to engage. Now TC's going to get a kill, but they're making it go on Bulba and Biru here. There's a force away, an Echo follow-up, locks Biru in place, so he'll go down. Bulba's still alive and well. Makes it a low ground Yawar. Focus fires. Brian's going to get dropped right now, and there goes Jo. Doppelganger's backing away. Moo. The Yules tries to waltz out of there, but can't make it away. The Lightning Storm and everything else to follow will take them apart. A 1-for-3 trade.
They saw TC TP out, so they're like, sweet, let's quickly get some track kills, and that would have been 2 track kills, but TC only TP'd bottom, so he actually wasn't that far away. He just immediately runs back after TPing out, and, well, he's not done.
Nope, he's at mid lane. Going on in, they're able to get the kill on the Whitebeard. TC still fine, makes it away from trouble with the help from Bulba coming in. Jo barely edges away at the back end of that Soul Assumption. He's the lone survivor when the fight all finishes. Fluff just comes back now, but damage already done.
Yep.
Big fight once again for DC. This is getting a bit sketchy for Fire. Yeah. This is looking like DC might have just gotten too much up to this point.
I mean, Lesh almost, well, I guess halfway to an Octarine core now. Can pick up
20 charges. 20.
That's the insta respawn. So you kill him once, he'll come right back, and you got to kill him again.
And he's going for the Octarine core.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
What a hero.
He's big. He's scary.
Yeah.
That is going to be a tough raid boss here for Fire. Yeah. They still have to continue to grind.
They're not close to an Earthshaker Blink. Their high ground defense is still manageable. You can throw a Fissure into Macropyre. It's just they're giving up too many kills right now. DC probably recognizing that, hey, we're not quite there yet. We want to get a bunch of Bloodstone charges, get Leshrac really massive. Storm, unfortunately, has been on the receiving end of a few Laguna Blades, so he's kind of fallen behind a decent margin. Also doesn't have the Bloodstone charges to play around with that Lesh does, but for DC, it's much more about the kills, and they'll prioritize towers as a secondary objective for now.
They're looking to flank Jo here. Can they get him? Bulba toys with him a bit, but hook shot not going to be happening. Gets body blocked right there. Now Moo going to be the focus point here for Yawar, while Jo looks to go in for Bulba. Heals from both sides here, right into a freezing field, so Moo's going to go down. Yawar gets that kill. Step in Laguna, they zap down Owie, but TC moves in, forces out the suicide. Quickly 3 go down. It's going to be 4 here if Jo can't make it away, and he can't. He will go down. TC just clearing house on this ridiculously good hero. 23 charges now. Man, oh man, they're coming down in this top lane. Ooh. This is just too much right now. It just seems like the punishment that DC put on is just more and more emphatic with each fight. It just seems more and more lopsided.
I mean, Virya has been so good finding these freezing field openings. Bulba's just been on point with all his hook shots, all his initiations. He's 6-3 and 15. He's in 21 of these 30 kills, and he's been the driving force of this DC mid game. It's going to be rough for Fire. They need BKBs, but like PL's not really a carry you want to go BKB on regardless, so it's going to be Susie on the Lina going for a BKB. I almost feel like Jakiro needs to go for a BKB against this Leshrac. Has picked up a cloak now just to negate some of this damage output, so maybe only a Veil for now, but Moose just having problems staying alive. Storm Spirit just balls on in, you use up the Storm Spirit, and then suddenly there's a Leshrac on you instead, and you've got to deal with him, and he's, instead of the Storm killing you, it's the Leshrac, so you can maybe deal with one as a Jakiro, but chances are you're not dealing with both.
Yeah. Love to see Jakiro again, but he doesn't feel like he's the game impact kind of a hero that you come to see from your Tusks and your Darkseers and your Clockworks. And I guess once those are already snagged up or banned out, you're left with so many options left. And I thought Jakiro was going to be a nice fit this one.
He was great as a lane dominator, but he hasn't transitioned well into the mid game. No, I mean, we saw Tusk. Like the Blink Dagger Tusk just does so much for your team with Snowball and Walrus Punch.
Oh, jump on for Whitebeard here. They scout him out with the Sentry. Moves there to help out. Gets the Yules, gets the Dual Breath. But there you see, it's not like Jakiro is going to be doing much to stop Yawar from just walking away or Ball Lightning away. The only thing he could have dished out more was a Macropyre if it wasn't on cooldown, but Storm Spirit's like, am I really going to sit in a Macropyre? Am I going to sit anywhere? No. A lot of this team isn't really. Clockwork even being very mobile. The speed that the Lesh has, very difficult. You're not going to be locking anyone there.
If Lina was there, but not the case.
I mean, Fire, you can hope for the dream setup. A lead in Echo after the Ice Path. That Macropyre had already been laid down, and all that damage could come together, but that is if all of the stars align.
And Leshrac's Octarine Core can be picked up now. It does do so from the enemy shop, and oh boy, TC 7013 looking to end this game soon.
Top lane, blink and you miss it. That's Lina dead. They make the quick jump in with the help and setup from Bulba.
Been a few times Susie just feeling like he needs to find some farm aggressively on the map, and right now it's to finish a BKB. Like, you can't really blame him for being in that position. He's like, well, there's not enough farm on the map for my team to go around. Someone's going to take a few chances and get a bit more aggressive, and pushing out the lanes as well. It forces DC to come back, deal with the lane pressure, so it's one of those things where he's kind of accepted his fate. There's a high chance he's going to die there, but on the off chance he doesn't, he finishes the BKB and he pressures the lane out really deep. It really works his team's advantage. But unfortunately, I mean, as you'd expect, DC are on top of it and countering it.
Bottom lane, TC gets tickled a bit from Jo. Jo gets that Yasha after throwing together the Diffusal, but as we say, just needs a lot more time. I mean, even poor little Whitebeard here. Yeah, he's got his mech. Only 967 life, though. That is like the little bits of magic debris that fly off a Lesh at this point in the game. Yeah, just scorch him, and he's like, ugh, can't get close, can't really be a factor at all. DC recognize that they're big in a team fight. They'll go into Roche. Regardless if Fire want to contest it or not, they are going to get this done.
Yeah, be pretty straightforward stuff, and Solar Crest completed an AUI, so you can now chuck that Solar Crest on that Leshrac when he wants to go running in, and Storm rocks up, I think just wanting to take the Aegis for himself.
He's like, I'm here for the goods.
Yeah,
I don't care about the Roche, I just want that shiny token right there. Thank you. They grab it, and all the meanwhile, Fire's smoke all the way towards the top.
It's not going anywhere, apart from maybe the top tier 2 tower, but
I mean, they can go top and try to plant themselves for whoever may eventually rotate top, but the pressure's already coming down mid lane on their side. They will need people to come back and go for it. Well, they tried to dust for something, but there's nothing up there. But tier 2's dead.
Alina would love to finish the BKB before this last fight, but it looks like they're going to have to get back and prepare now. I don't know if Lina can sell anything to get the BKB up. It doesn't look like 747's quite there. Even if you sell his bottle as well as one, you don't have enough money, so very tough times for Team Fire.
I don't know what they're going to be able to do when the high ground pressure really does come, because it looks like it's not coming just yet. TC wants to relieve the pressure here at the top lane first.
I think he wants his BKB. He's 500 short, has everything he could hope for in the way of items other than that, and once you have BKB, you can just run up to the high ground, not worry about much of anything. You get Lagoon and you don't even really care at this point. You've got 2.2k HP and you can shrug it off.
Now he's got the Octa Ring Core. He can even be more mobile. These TP boots now up every 33 seconds, about 33, 34 seconds. Goes right to the top lane. We'll farm up there. By the time he finishes working out the lane and through the jungle, the boots are already done. He can join up with the rest of his team for the next hurrah, and he'll have that next big scary item done, which is the BKB. Oh my goodness, what are Fire going to do?
Stall. Sit on the high ground and just, Lesh is at the point where Lesh only has one item slot left, so it's not going to be... Lesh doesn't get much scary. You probably throw like a Shiver's Guard or a Hex as your last item. I guess you can replace the Yules with like one of those. You can probably get both those two items replaced in the Yules, but if you can somehow hold on to your racks and get PL maxed out, then you've got some hope. That's probably about all Fire can hope for right now. It's just the high ground defense. They're going to lose complete map control. They're going to keep being out farmed. They can split push a little bit here and there. Moo's going to be the one at bottom lane. I think just sending Lina to split push at this stage very risky, because if Lina dies, that's a key hero that you really need to defend with. Jakiro a bit more expendable than the Lina.
Going to be a bit of a tough defense. Actually, they're rotating in for bottom. They want to go for Moo. Not happening. Moo does the Glimmer Cape TP, but it's a straight shot for the hook coming out from Bulba, which will cancel that TP. And your Jakiro is dead.
Yeah, nice.
They actually pull so many back for that Jakiro. Two from the side of DC, just all four.
That was just nice awareness from Bulba. Like, okay, this is what he's doing. He knows that's probably his only way out. Just hooks where he was glimmering and, yeah, shuts it down.
And now DC are going to be back, just like that, to pressuring the mid lane. 35 seconds, no buyback on that Mujakiro, and they still have 2 minutes to work with on this Aegis from UR.
Yeah. PL at least will have buyback for this fight, because I think it's going to take multiple lives from a few of these heroes to try and hold this, and unfortunately Lina, no buyback available.
Cool creep wave. Let me just use one spell and touch my R button briefly. Gone. And now your tower. I'll use my E button. Gone. What are you going to do about it? Fortunately for Fluff, no Blink Dagger on his Earthshaker. Can't get that glorious big slam. And they're just going to have to watch the destruction before them here. The Disco Show in full effect here. Boom. They annihilate the wave, and now they put the focus onto the next. They will catch TC with the Ice Path, but he still holds that fresh BKB. And that's a Rax. They move in, they get the Rax, they walk away, as if it was just like, would you kindly take our Rax, please? But here's Jo in the top lane. He gets a tier 3 himself.
Okay.
And before the pressure comes, he's like, gotta get out of here.
Yeah, Fluff was trying to just chase him down to cancel some TPs, I think, so that Jo could get a bit more space to split push and rat, but tier 3 for a Rax, DC will be perfectly okay with that. They don't want to trade Raxes at this stage, that's for certain, but for Fire, they scrounge together a bit more money and just a bit more time, I guess. But one lane down, that to me is the cap. If you lose another lane, you're looking in a really, really rough spot.
DC still have these really aggressive wards in the woods, and they continue to ping out exactly what Lina's up to. Ooh, Bulba tried to catch with that hook, but not going to get it. Yawar, though, he gets his own catch. It's on Fluff, and he makes it look easy. And there's TC. Hops right on his back, shows up, and he's like, I'm here to play.
Yep. Aegis, I think, expiring soon. If it's not expired, they probably won't have it for the next Rax push, but I don't know if that's the biggest concern for DC. Like, the Aegis was not what made taking that mid lane of Rax as easy as it was.
I like how TC showed up to mid lane. He was probably hoping to get there in time for a Bloodstone charge at least, but
yeah,
isn't. And
free Bloodstone
as
charge.
the push comes bottom, he's like, I'll just run down bottom.
And he's got TP back up.
And he's got Boots of Travel too. So yeah. Oh, he had it that last time, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so Aegis has expired, and it's going to be a very quick respawn time, it looks like. 2.5 minutes from now. So a bit after the 40-minute mark, we'll see the next Roshan available to the two teams. By the two teams, I mean for DC.
Yeah, for DC, it's just, we can push out all these waves. We can take the most of the farm on this map. You can sit in there and hide and do your cute little split push action here, but we're getting the most in this economy race, and eventually we're just going to overpower you. Unless you can come out with some sort of crazy YOLO flank smoke, maybe we drop our keyboard on the floor play. It's going to be very, very difficult for Fire
TC
to hold
with
this.
3 lives, has buyback, has Bloodstone, and PL picks up a Radiance of all items. Once he's going full rat mode. Once the Radiance burn damage to be able to creep cut waves, he's sending the Mant. The problem with the new PL, while Radiance is a pretty bad item in general, is because your illusions last such a short amount of time, so you can only use the Radiance PL illusions with Manta style. So we'll see what he can do here. I think this is maybe a fine item to get here. There's just so little other than split push and rat that he can do.
Quickly trying to clear out the wave as much as possible. Fire tried to stall, but TC's already in there and starts poking away, and that Edict starts just working its way through this tower. And the birds. Can't forget the birds.
Yep. This is without even having an Ag Scepter. Aui's been a lot less focused on getting his own farm up this game.
Just give it to the pony.
Yep.
He will do us work. And he is.
Well, they're going to try to clear the creep wave before it reaches the high ground, and unfortunately not successful.
TC walks in, pops his ult for a few seconds. That wave's going to be taken care of.
Okay. We need more Manta illusions. Jero needs to try and send him behind, but really tricky to do so. There's like a wall of heroes kind of in the way, and they'll deal with those PL illusions pretty easily.
How persistent are DC here? They just want to keep building up this pressure. War will go back and wait for hopefully a big 40-minute rune. Oh, how nice. A DD.
Yep.
He'll pick that one up, take it right back towards this top lane, and we'll have to see if they're going to go. A big fight here and a Rax takedown. That could just very well be the game. Yep. And then we'll take it to a game 3.
Jero's ran his way down towards the bottom lane to try and split push. If his team can just keep the creep wave out of top and mid, he can force some TPs back home.
They'll see him down there now. That could be the trigger point if they want to move in. There's a Macropyre, there's a Fissure. TC finishes off the tower, gets the Yules. There's the stun. No connection. Quick glimmer from Moo as he steps back. Doesn't matter though, the Rax are what's really in trouble.
Yeah, and they've lost backdoor protection, so.
There go. Oh, quick lift thereafter. Looks like Jo has returned. No, he's still bottom lane.
They want to try cancel TPs now. They want to go for a Rax trade if possible.
I don't know how possible that is. Oh, look at the Biru jumps in and BKB Freezing Field is going to get Laguna'd in the face. We'll force a buyback for him. They are going to be losing Moo. 1 Rax down here. Bottom lane. Jo gets a Rax of his own. About to get 2.
They canceled the Storm TP.
There's a buyback for him. The Crystal Main's out for good. 75 seconds. No buyback. And now Jo looking to go back into work, but TC's here and he just does Lesh. Yeah. And that's it. Now over in the woods on the other side, they may see if they can scout out Bulba here and take him off. Cancels out the hook the first time, decides he wants to make the jump to Yawar, and both of them.
They don't want to chase too far. Lesh's TP comes up so quickly, 10 seconds, and he'll be able to TP back in. That's like an okay result for Fire. That top Rax or bottom Rax, like that helps them out, keeps them slightly in the game. Big issue that's going to be coming up in the very near future is that DC will take this Roshan and then look for that game-ending Mega Creeps push towards the bottom lane. Ideal scenario for Fire is keep split pushing, try and get that top lane. If you can take like top Rax and then immediately TP back and try and make a last-ditch effort to defend, you could keep yourself in the game, but it's gonna be so tricky for them.
They're persistent though. Yeah. Never say die.
Yeah, they are almost like if they had cancelled the Leshrac TP as well, they only cancelled the Storm TP, the bounty with the Shuriken. If they cancelled the Lesh TP as well, that PL can maybe rotate top and get a second lane of Rax there with both Lesh and Storm prevented from TPing. So it was very close to being a fantastic moment for Fire.
So here's the Rosh you talk of, which could be all they need if they want to go in for that last mega siege on the bottom lane. We'll have to see what Fire's response is going to be, but Bulba picking up an Invis rune here. He's like, maybe I can get a catch here. If you TP onto me, we can kill Moo. And there's the TP. There's the battery salt, the cog catch. Moo's in trouble. Moo is gonna glimmer. Gets stunned up. Fuels his TC, and he's still trying to find a way out, but the hook's gonna be there from Bulba. They take the Jakiro out. That's gonna be 70 seconds. No buyback. And that is not good. That's DC now going to be going into a 5 versus 4 against Fire with only one Rax that separates
Ooh.
them and the Megas.
Lean has a refresher. Goes all in on this, but good old Leshtrack has just picked up a harder Terras, so good luck getting through 3.7k HP.
Really?
And has insta respawn. So this Lesh has buyback, 27 Bloodstone charges, 3 lives.
He hasn't even used his BKB yet, gods.
Yeah, it's a farming BKB. And the split push nowhere to be seen. I mean, JO's started it now, but you're going down mega creeps.
Megas are there. They get their jump on the Whitebeard, and they could grab him here. Turn back track. Shuriken goes down.
If Lesh wants, Lesh can just go back and deal with the push, and that's going to be exactly what Lesh does do.
Cute push you got here.
JO likely to go down? Yeah.
Oh, they got him with the hook. Bulba bumps him back. There's the stun. TC's like, let me just get rid of all this crap in my way. Aha, there you are. Boom. Easy kill.
I wouldn't be surprised just to see the GG. I mean, it's Mega Creep, so of course you kind of expect a GG at Mega Creeps, typically speaking. I mean, maybe they're like, well, their late game is a Lesh and a Storm. They haven't got any right-click damage, but this Lesh is...
Quick, double Laguna. Okay, there's a force. BKB, here it comes. Ha! Bang! Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, he's dead. TC, what do you know? Gets the kill. 29 charges, 5k gold, and we are done. They could have been taking those last few moments, of course, to just plot out the next game, the start of that draft, what went wrong this draft, what do we need to do for the next one, and just kind of taking this extra bit of time in recess to figure out what needs to happen, because DC, they grab Lesh and they show why this hero needs to be banned. They just crush Fire, and now we're going to be going into a Game 3 lower bracket final match.
Ooh, this is juicy. This is, I mean, it's do or die for both these teams. If you want to get Singapore compete at that $200,000 LAN finals against some of the best teams in the world, this is it. This is your time to make a claim and stay alive and get a chance to get into that best of 5 against Cloud9. So we'll see who's going to take it and who's going to make it till tomorrow's grand final.
We'll find out in just a few moments, folks. So we'll take a small break, and when we return, it's going to be Game 3 of Digital Chaos going against Fire. I'm Coddle Guy for Beyond the Summit, joined, of course, from Mr. David Parker. Gods, we'll see you in just a moment for more Dota action.